All dark in hand.
There, that was it, Joe.
No, I know it was.
Liz, is Jim there? Oh.
Number one and number two.
That's fine,
You
that's
don't
fine.
need to know that.
That's fine. 9. Doesn't help? No, that's fine. Good, guys.
Notice to stand.
Okay.
Please stand for a moment of silence and salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Adequate notice of this meeting was provided to the Westfield Leader, advertised on January 9, 2014. Notification was sent to the Star Ledger and prominently posted on the Municipal Public Bulletin Board and filed in the office of the municipal clerk, informing the public of the time and place according to the provisions of the Open Public Meeting Law, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975. At this time, I will again ask you to make sure you have your communication devices either on vibrate or just totally off. And if you must take a call, please do so out in the hall. It would be greatly appreciated. Roll call, please, Ms. Ariana.
Mayor Petracchi?
Here.
Council President Palmer?
Here.
Councilman Martin? Councilman Matthews?
Here.
Councilman Neersted?
Present.
Councilman Petrozelli?
Here.
And Councilwoman Disco?
Here. Thank you. Minutes, please, Ms. Ariana.
Regular meeting of the Mayor and Council held on February 25th, 2014, and workshop session of the Mayor and Council held on February 25th, 2014.
Are there any corrections or changes? May I have a motion to accept the minutes as presented?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as presented, Mayor.
May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Communications, please, Ms. Ariella.
New Jersey State League of Municipalities Mayor's Tax Advisory,
Received and filed.
Township of Springfield Resolution,
Received and filed.
Florida Valley Sewage Authority Minutes,
Received and filed.
and Garwood Planning Board Minutes.
Received and filed. We have an ordinance to introduce this evening. Ms. Ariana, will you please read ordinance 14-04 by title only?
In order to amend Article 12, commuter parking of Chapter 21, traffic and parking of the revised ordinance of the Borough of Garwood 1974, to establish a commuter parking area at John F. Kennedy Plaza and to establish regulations thereof.
May I have a motion?
Therefore.
Therefore, okay. May I have a motion to introduce ordinance 14-04?
I'll make a motion to introduce ordinance 14-04.
A second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Roll call, please, Ms. Ariana. Oh, discussion? No. No.
Council President Palmer,
Aye.
Councilman Martin,
Right.
Councilman Matthew,
Aye.
Councilman Neersted.
Yes.
Councilman Petrozelli,
Aye.
and Councilwoman Disco.
Aye.
Committee reports. Councilman Martin, please.
I'm sorry, say please.
Yeah.
Okay, I have two things. The police committee recommends the adoption of resolution 14-166, authorizing a shared services agreement with the city of Borough for the purchase of 20 portable police radios and 3 console or car radios for just $1. All this equipment is valued at about $23,000. It's came about when our police chief heard that Rahway's police department was upgrading their radio system, and he inquired to their chief, Chief Rogers, and brokered this deal. 20 portable Motorola radios are an upgrade from our units currently used by patrol, and the car units are the same as we already have. This means our police department will have an abundance of portable radios to be used for a new hire, spares, and in case of emergency when we need extras. New car radios will be put in the chief's car, which previously did not have a permanent radio in it. It's a great example of communities working together for the greater good. I know Chief Underhill would like to thank Chief Rogers and the city of Rahway, and we would like to say thank you to them as well as to our chief for making this deal happen. One other thing, just to give everyone a status on the negotiations, the PBM contract negotiations. We've met in January and March. We're reviewing the contract for detail to determine which process to follow in terms of hiring legal counsel, what our plan will be. We plan to provide an update at the next meeting. Thank you, Mayor. That's all from my report.
Thank you. You have heard the report of police. Do I have a motion to accept?
Be received and spread across the minutes, recommendation there and be adopted.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any comments?
Yeah, just have a question, Councilman. The last part of your thing about the negotiations, are we actively considering hiring outside counsel for the PBA negotiations?
We're considering which way to go with our attorney, our borough attorney, or whether we'll hire outside counsel. We haven't finished that determination yet.
Because I know we did last time, it was the outside counsel. I wish I could tell you that I fully endorse doing that again. I don't. So I could go either way. But I just thought it was interesting that you were considering that. Thank you.
Okay, any other comments with regard to the Commissioner's report? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Public health, Councilman Smith.
No report, Mayor. The next meeting's March 19th.
Streets and roads, ecology, Councilman Mearsclaw.
Thank you, Mayor. The Streets and Roads Committee met last night, and discussion included the following items. Good news, DPW employee Delgado, who was injured about 3 weeks ago, should be able to return by March 19th. The DPW is working furiously on patching the potholes that I'm sure every one of us have run into, caused by the winter storms. Barring any additional snowstorms, they should have them all filled by the end of the month. The dump truck has not yet made an appearance. We believe that it doesn't want to get dirty with snow, salt, so probably won't get delivered until the end of the month. I will keep you informed of this delivery when it arrives. We split up the tasks associated with the goal of privatizing garbage and recycling pickup, and we hope to have real progress on this discussion for our April council meeting. Finally, we'd just like to thank Superintendent Fred Corbett. We call him at these meetings, at each of our meetings about 8 o'clock at night. We appreciate him giving us his time at night for that. And that's my report, Mayor.
Thank you. You have heard the report of streets, roads, and ecology. Do I have a motion to accept?
Be received and spread across the minutes.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mayor, may I?
Yes.
Councilman Yersted,
Mhm.
I provided you an email, I think, December or January about
Recycling
recycling.
contract?
Yeah,
Yes.
are you gonna run off the bid?
Probably, because I don't think we're going to be able to, I'm sorry, we're going to probably renew it,
Okay.
because we're not going to have time to go out for bid.
Okay.
There's a lot of factors involved with coming up with a decision regarding going out for recycling or not, and we're not ready yet to make that
Okay,
decision.
so as long as, because if you were gonna bid, I want to make sure you're according
I don't think we're going to have time.
to that, email that I sent you.
Right. No, I have not forgotten that.
Okay, great.
Just a quick question on that then. Okay, so we can do a renewal for up to 2 years, is that correct?
You can renew it for up to 2 years, correct?
But can we also do it in 1 year increments, because that would be my preference.
Yes.
Okay, because, and I don't know if we're ready to make that decision, but again, I think that that's the kind of be the consensus.
Yeah, I'm not entirely thrilled with waste management, but I don't think we're ready at this point to make any other recommendation. So I agree with Councilman Matthews, to probably go 1 year and
I
leave it at
think
that.
we need the 1 year in order to do the research that we need to do for the privatization, so.
If I may, does that mean there would be a formal recommendation of extending the contract?
There has to be.
Possibly at the next council meeting or?
You are correct.
Okay, that's fine, just want to check.
Okay, comments, all in favor? No one left to be opposed. Councilman Matthew, fire.
Thank you, Mayor. For the month of February, there were a total of 10 incidents, including 4 mutual aid calls, for a total total person hours of 99 hours for all of them. That's it for my report, Mayor.
Thank you. You have heard the report of fire. Do I have a motion to accept?
Be received and spread across the mass.
Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
I'll second it also.
Councilwoman Tanisco, finance.
I was too busy looking at my finance report over here. Anyway, thanks, Mayor. I'm pleased to say that our special budget meeting last Thursday was better attended than in years past, and I encourage residents to continue to attend meetings and ask questions or share comments as the budget continues in its process. Introduction and public hearing of the budget is set for our next regular meeting on March 25th. For those not in attendance at our special budget meeting that are here with us tonight, I would like to say that presently the borough is looking at a 1.2% tax levy increase, which works out to be $44 per home assessed at $100,000. This is the lowest tax increase in the past 12 years in the borough and includes additions of funding for redevelopment, hiring of a 16th officer for the police department, and an increase in the LoSAP awarded volunteers on our fire department and first aid squad, as we had discussed earlier as well. The finance committee is looking to meet again before introduction of the budget in case there is any new information brought to our attention. We want to be prepared for that to bring it to the council, and that's all for my report.
Thank you. You have heard the report of finance. Do I have a motion to accept?
You received, spread across the mass.
Okay, good.
Okay, somebody give me a second.
No, Mike can do it.
No, I already did. Well, do it again. You received, spread across.
Second.
Thank you.
Yeah, right.
My first
Any other comments?
Yeah, I just have questions. Yeah, if I could ask, you just formally schedule a meeting, that would be great, and just let us know when that's gonna be. So those of us who might have input, so it could formally be considered at a meeting. It was kind of a bone of contention I had last year, was that after the budget meeting, there was no finance committee meeting. So any opinions we voiced, there's really no chance for the finance committee to address that. So if you could just let us know when that meeting's gonna be, so if we have any comments or anything, we can get that into you beforehand, that would be great.
Well, it would be before this next upcoming council meeting, and I know earlier you said you had some information you wanted to share with me. So I would just do that sooner than later if you already have that information in your possession, sure. And, you know, we'll take that into consideration, so.
And Mayor, just one question on my side too. There were a lot of, comments, recommendations, thoughts that night. Do you see some changes coming from the budget?
I do see some changes coming, so,
And will you be able to actually itemize them at some point, indicate what they are?
yes, I will be indicating what they are at the next council meeting, so.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
Okay. We've had a motion and a second. We've had discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Buildings and grounds, Councilman Petrozelli.
No report.
Laws and license, Council President Palmer.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't have a formal report. I just want to let you know that we are still currently working on a few ordinances I do have a formal report also. But we are working on a few ordinances with, Mr. Renaud on, dumpsters and, the sandwich board signs for North Avenue. So that's still active. We didn't forget about that. And also, the Laws and License Committee recommends the adoption of resolution number 14-156 for the application of one on-premise 50/50 raffle license to be held on April 24th at the Westwood by the Education Foundation of Garwood. And Also, we recommend the adoption of Resolution 14-163 for the application of one on-premise 50/50 raffle license to be held April 4th at Lincoln School by the Garwood PTA. And that is all for my report, Mayor.
You have heard the report of laws and license. Do I have a motion to accept?
You received, spread across the minutes?
Do I have a second?
Recommendation.
I'm not too sure about the recommendation. The recommendation
Former
there and
president.
adopted.
Do I have a second?
Second.
He was first. Any comments? All in favor?
Hang on, I'm sorry, Mayor, I do have someone else is gonna go. Councilwoman, the, potential ordinance changes regarding the sandwich boards, are you in contact with, Victor?
Did you call me councilman?
Did I apologize if I did. Councilwoman, I
Okay.
apologize.
Actually, Council President,
I
did you allow
apologize.
that?
Councilperson, Councilwoman, I apologize.
Good catch.
Are you in contact, are you discussing it, are you including Victor Vinegar within that discussion? Because obviously it's a land use ordinance amendment, and I'd like to have his viewpoints in on that.
Okay, I currently have not, but I will.
All right, that'd be great.
Okay.
That'd be great,
Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, I have a motion made second, and have some discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Recreation, Councilman Petrozelli.
No report, Mayor. Next meeting is March 9th.
Committee on Aging, Council President Connor.
No report, Mayor.
Library. I attended a meeting last week of the library board, and I was very happy to see that rather than send a representative to that meeting of the Board of Trustees, the superintendent has been attending herself, and I think it's great. In the past, they sent someone, and this gave them the opportunity to really delve into how the library can better serve the students in town and what's going on. There was also some discussion about the fact that there weren't quite as much foot traffic within the library and as many books taken out, et cetera, in the past couple months, and really it was sort of attributable to the weather. People just weren't coming out. I would also like to mention that on Wednesday, March 19th, it will be the 111th anniversary of the Borough. And the library has created a display in the history corner of the Garwood Library, and anyone who hasn't stopped in to see it really should go over, take a look, and see what's going on in our town over the years. The library is open Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. and from 9 a.m. to 4:30 on Fridays, and Saturdays from 9 to 1. They also are asking that the state of the libraries reminding residents to think about the library when you're going through photographs and memorabilia and whatnot with regard to the borough, that they would be pleased to scan the items into their digital history files and return the originals to you. If you prefer, the library can keep your items for the benefit of future generations of Garwoodians. So the library staff does urge you not to trash Garwood's history. You'd be amazed, and I'm just going to add this from personal experience. When we went through my mom's house, when we were selling it, we came across a suitcase that she had inherited from her uncle. And in there were wedding pictures that went back, and my family was from the Clark Railway area, so it was all stuff that pertained to the township of Clark and to the city of Railway, so it was quite interesting. So the library would like to help you to preserve the history of the town and urges you not to trash Garwood's history. And that's all for my report. May I have a motion to accept it
Be received and spread across the minutes.
and a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. School Board Liaison, Councilwoman Tedisco.
No report, Mayor. The next meeting's March 18th.
Councilwoman, I think it's a good idea to mention the Education Foundation dinner.
Oh, okay, sure, I'll plug that, I don't mind.
So we'll do that after the answer gets part of the Board of
Do that?
Health.
No, I think think it's been plugged before at this point.
Wednesday meeting is
so-
coming up, it's April
It's April 24th,
24th.
I believe. Let me double check these times. Yes. Let's see, I just want to get the times right. It's from 6 o'clock until 9 o'clock, I believe. And it's, this year I am I'm in that organization as I have been for the past couple of years, and as you know, it's an appreciation dinner. This year, it's the 10th anniversary of the EFG, so they are honoring past officers and members, and we're having a nice look back at that. And also, the teacher of the year, it's still to be determined. I haven't gotten word of that. So April 24th at the Westwood, and if you do need tickets, you can see me for them. I believe it's still $45 like last year. So you can always, I don't know if I should really say that up here, but you can see me for the tickets anyway. Since I'm on the organization.
You're on the committee?
Yeah, I'm president of that right now, actually.
Since it's 10 years old, maybe somebody should honor Belle Lewis. She was instrumental in starting the EFG.
She's still on it.
I know she started it though. She did all the work. It's a lot of hard work.
Right. I think there'll be something, yeah.
Right. Well, I was on the board member that started 2 years ago.
I was one of the first recipients of the scholarship, so
Wow.
it goes full circle.
I was the first president, so we've all.
Very good.
All part
I've
of that.
been there.
From generation to generation,
Yeah.
Okay.
I did write about reports.
All right, we're going to handle this as a report. You have heard the report
Okay.
of the school board liaison. Do I have a motion to accept?
Be received and spread across the minutes.
Thank you. A second?
Second.
Any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Celebration of public events and holidays liaison, Councilman Martin.
My report.
Union County Air Traffic Noise Advisory Board Representative, Councilman Matthews.
No report, Mayor.
And Athletic Field Complex Project Committee Representative, Councilman Petrozelli.
Thank you, Mayor. The 2-week update is as follows. The secondary roof is completed. The roofing manufacturer has measured for the metal roof and will begin production at a 4-week lead time. Interior rough framing is completed. Plumbing rough has begun, and they are waiting on some issues to be resolved from the newsreel group. Exterior siding due to arrive this week. Furring exterior to receive siding has begun, and they are still waiting on a layout for the newsreel group as well. Windows are being installed in the community building. All perimeter site work remains on hold. Also recommend recommend resolution number 14-157, authorizing the change order for athletic field project. Our next monthly construction meeting is March 19th at Borough Hall. That's all for my report.
Thank you, Councilman. You have heard the report of the Athletic Field Complex Project Committee Representative. Do I have a motion to accept?
Be received and spread across the minutes with the recommendation and be adopted.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Officers' reports, Sarah.
Police Chief Bruce Underhill, monthly report for February 2014. Zoning Code Enforcement Officer Randy Stefano, monthly report for February 2014. Municipal Tax Collector Aggie Creswell, monthly report for February 2014. Municipal Court Administrator Martha Marino, monthly report for February 2014.
May I have a motion to accept the officers' reports?
I'll make a motion to accept the officers' reports,
May I
Mayor.
have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Public comment. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to address the mayor and council? Please step to the microphone, state your full name and address, and please limit your comments to 3 minutes.
In Leonard, 536 Myrtle Avenue, Garwood. I don't need a microphone. You notice there's no reporters here tonight. I hope you're going to put something in. I'm computer illiterate. I don't have a computer. I go by the newspapers. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Bruce Patterson, 325 Willow Avenue. Just to talk about the EFG, I was on the steering committee of the EFG, and I think you were too, weren't you? Yeah, sure. All right, so everybody somehow is connected to the EFG. Anyway, well, let's go. I mentioned this with Bill, but the planning board, I guess you can consider it an arbitrary ruling, but a gentleman came in front of the planning board and he wanted to sell guns. He didn't stockpile them, but he sold guns from his house. And it was a retail, and one of the planning board members were emphatic about, that being retail, it's against the zoning ordinances, which I can't deny. But however, the interpretation of the zoning ordinances, the board actually voted favorable to allow him doing it, and it seems like it was an arbitrary vote in this case. However, I just want to explain, I voted for it also, but I did have some kind of regret, but it seemed okay because he was licensed and stuff. But to me, the main reason why I was doing this, and I'm putting this forth to the mayor and council because they're the ones who do legislation, but I wanted to have a sense of urgency put forth in this idea of retail out of a house, because the internet now is in place, well ensconced in everybody's homes, and retail as it was determined back 10, 20 years ago, that people were selling things out of the house, and that was illegal according to our zoning ordinances. But now with the internet in place, that there really is a sea change of exactly what is retail and what is considered selling from a home. To me, it's really not cut and dry. And at the planning board, I did mention I'd like to see this put forth to the mayor and council, and I'm doing that as I stand here. And I don't know if it'd be whatever policy committee or whatever committee, but something obviously needs to be addressed, because this is a sea change in retail, and you're not just selling out of a house, but obviously the internet comes in, the internet goes out. So anyway, that's just my comments. I don't know if you want to do anything with it or not.
Bruce, do you need defining what's, are we?
Yeah, that there's a lot more to look at. That the internet, 20 years ago, selling something from your house, was selling something from your house. But now the internet allows people to advertise right out into the globally, no less. And so now, people can order from the globe into the house, and there is a vast difference. It's just not a phone call, it can be an email. So I think something really needs to be addressed.
Can I just clarify something now? Because I just don't want it out in public that somebody's selling guns from their home. You cannot go to this gentleman's home and purchase guns. He has nothing on display. You can't just buy something.
That's right.
What he's doing is
order. Yeah.
whoever is purchasing a gun online, on eBay, wherever they purchase a gun from, that is where they're purchasing the gun online. All he's doing is, you're having the gun shipped to him as a receiver because he's an authorized dealer, broker, whatever it is. So he's not selling you the gun. You already purchased it online. He's only receiving it for you to complete the transaction. Because in the state of New Jersey, it's illegal to have a gun shipped to your home.
Well,
So,
and this was addressed, and there were board members that found fault with it, but
and agreed, I just don't want it out there that this gentleman's selling guns out of his house.
Oh, okay.
Because that's not what's happening.
That is true. And like I mentioned, he doesn't stockpile.
No,
That's why.
no.
But of course, this is why we need lawyers, for all, a lot of these legislative issues that come up that can go one way or the other.
Next. We run out of time.
Running out of time. All right, well, yeah, I'm not easily hurt, you know me. But about a year ago, when you were discussing about the Garwood Gazette, and I said, why don't you call the school and have a shared service in having both of the newsletters mailed together? And it just fell on deaf ears, I guess.
No.
But here, oh, okay, well,
No.
somebody listened. Thank you very much.
We checked into it, they were not interested, it was not going to save us any money.
Both of them came the exact
I know
same
that.
day.
I
Tell
know
me
that.
you can't save mailing costs.
I haven't got my one from the school board yet.
Well, if you want to look at it, I'll give it to you. But anyway, but here it is. Tell me you're not saving money by just mailing one versus two. So that's that's my issue. I appreciate you at least looking into it. Something tells me, you know, whatever you found is really incorrect, let's say.
Next time I'll bring this budget.
Another item, oh yeah, 14162, resolution, you're hiring an outside code consultant. Can somebody just explain that to me? I know we have co-obligations. Right now, Christie sees we put on cold.
It's co is so complex, I'm sitting here trying to think how to make it, reduce it down from what it is. I mean, you know, there's been lawsuits back and forth. Christie wanted to, Governor Christie, apologize for that, Governor, wanted to, you know, disband the agency. The bottom line is that whether the agency that enforces the affordable housing regulations of the state exists or not, every municipality still has to have, still should have an adopted and accepted housing plan. Right now, I'll just phrase it simply by saying we do not have such a plan, and we need to adopt one.
Bill is ready.
Bruce, be best sometimes just to be quiet. And I'm being quiet. I'd appreciate it if you would too. Read between the lines, you're on the planning board.
All right, moving on, from what I understand, Councilman Mearstead went to the freeholder meeting.
Oh.
I know, you know, the council people that do attend, they actually have a report. I don't know if you're ready to hear a report about the freeholder.
Anything else other than that?
No, that's it. Thank you
All
very
right,
much.
thank you, Steve.
Mayor, and I apologize, yes, I did go to the freeholders night, and I'm going to say something that I've debated saying, and maybe there are those who say I shouldn't say it, but it really was eye-opening because I was extremely disappointed in the Democratic freeholder chairman.
Face the camera.
Sure, I'd be more than happy to say that. I really felt that he did a disservice to himself and to the residents because he simply does not respond to anything that is asked. And I'd always heard that, but to actually watch it is quite interesting. And I'm a Democrat. I'm an elected Democratic councilman here in town, but I really felt that he does a disservice by not answering questions. And, I did speak to him afterwards, and not that it's going to make any difference, but I would like to indicate that I did find that displeasurable.
Did he have a response when he?
No? Nope.
Okay.
He said one. They did answer, I think, Bruce, and I apologize this is going on, because I've been pretty quiet all night, but I have two things to say. We did find out, answer to one question though, Bruce, if you recall. The flowers were provided by the sorority that was there earlier getting the award. That was very important to find out who provided the flowers. And I think it was a box of chocolates, I think.
Yes, there was.
Yes, there was. Beyond that, the Mayor, that's it for my report on that. I do want to state, and I don't want to get into a big back and forth, because Councilman Palmer and I do disagree on this. So I will simply state two things, that it is sales, as defined by zoning, as I did advise the board that night. But beyond that, I agree with Mr. Patterson that I do think the planning board should look into sales, because while we don't actually discuss the word sales in the ordinance, the home occupation only permits office uses. And you are correct, office has grown tremendously. And I did vote against the board's decision that night, so I do obviously disagree with it, but I do agree that we need to address it. So I think the planning board should look into that.
I don't know that it prohibits sales. I mean, I.
No, it doesn't. All it lists is, the only thing it says about it is what's permitted is office use only. That's the way.
Well, but I mean, an office is
Right.
the place where someone does the administrative functions of a business. The idea of the ordinance, whether it's being construed this way or not, is at least the way I believe it was intended, is, and you and I both had input into it, was that the main objective was that people on the outside, neighbors, would not be affected by the business. So you weren't supposed to have a lot of deliveries coming to the house. You're not supposed to have other workers coming to the house. But if someone wanted to sit in their house, for example, in their home office, and order products and have them delivered elsewhere, for example, if that's what the business was, even if it's a sales business, that's not prohibited.
What I'm trying to, I don't know if I agree for you or not to think about that. What I will say is that obviously, as Bruce said, the word sales has changed over the years, the word office has changed over the years. And I know, because I'm involved in regulating it, years ago, you actually needed, if you want to have a car lot, you needed to have a car. Now you don't. You can run a car sales business out of your house. So I agree, Mr. Patterson. that
Well, of
we
course,
do need
and
to
I don't
address-
think that's prohibited, that's what I'm saying. I mean, if you wanted to run a used car business out of your house and you're somehow going to get the cars, get orders for cars and somehow get them delivered someplace, you can't have them brought to your house
Right.
and stored there, but if you can, that's, I don't believe that's prohibited.
But it was up until about 2 years ago, the EMV prohibited, now it's permitted. So,
Well,
things
what
have
I'm saying
changed.
is, I think I think we're finding a problem, may be finding a problem where none exists. And additionally, I think you do have to take into consideration the residents. So if you're gonna make changes, you don't want, at least I don't believe you want, in a residential zone, you don't want people coming to someone else's home to do business in large numbers, because it changes the character of the neighborhood. But somebody selling cars, as long as the cars are not coming to their residence, in my opinion, that's an office. Somebody's sitting in an office and taking orders and making arrangements for deliveries, that's an office, that's not, so again, I think maybe we're construing what's permitted too narrowly.
Okay, moving along. Any other comments? Public comment? There, seeing none, we'll close the public comment portion of the meeting and move on to the consent agenda. And are there any resolutions anyone wants to leave from the consent agenda?
Yes, Mayor, can I have Resolution 157 deleted from the consent agenda, please?
Mayor,
-157.
Mayor, just to err on the safe side, if I could delete the raffle license with EFG, that's 163, I believe. If I could just delete that since I am a member of the group,
Oh, you'd like to have, okay.
yes. So I can abstain from that vote.
Okay. Any other? May I have a motion to adopt the consent agenda as amended?
I'll make a motion to adopt the consent agenda as amended, Mayor.
May I have a second?
Second.
May I have roll call, please, Ms. Ariano?
Council President Palmer.
Aye.
Councilman Martin.
Aye.
Councilman Matthew.
Aye.
Councilman Neerfeld.
Aye.
Councilman Petrozelli.
Aye.
Councilman Fisco.
Aye.
Okay, may I have a motion to adopt resolution number 14-157?
Motion to adopt resolution 14-157.
Second.
Second. Any discussion?
Yeah, Mayor, I just want to make this real quick. I'm going to vote against 157 along the lines of my general opposition to the athletic field contract and its ballooning cost. Also, I've noted previously I just have a problem with ratifying bills that I haven't done proper diligence on, and I don't feel as if I have done diligence on this. And I'm not sure who has. That being said, I'm going to vote no.
The motion has been made and seconded. We've had discussion. Any further discussion? Okay. Roll call, please, Ms. Ariano.
Council President Palmer.
Aye.
Councilman Martin.
Aye.
Councilman Matthew.
No.
Councilman Neerfeld.
Yes.
Councilman Petrozelli.
Aye.
And Councilman Fisco.
Aye.
Ready?
Yep.
May I have a motion to adopt resolution 14-163?
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution 14-163, Mayor.
May I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please, Ms. Ariano.
Council President Palmer.
Aye.
Councilman Martin.
Aye.
Councilman Matthews.
Aye.
Councilman Niersted.
Yes.
Councilman Petrozelli.
Aye.
And Councilman Fisco.
Abstaining on the basis that I'm a member.
Thank you. Is there any new business for mayor and council at this time? I do not believe there is. I do have an appointment this evening to the Recreation Committee. Kristen Croton for the unexpired term from March 14, 2014 to December 31st, 2015. Ms. Ariano, will you please read the payment of claims resolution?
Yes, ma'am. Be resolved, the following claims as approved, be and the same are hereby ordered paid and properly signed and verified, and the payment of payrolls as this is hereby confirmed and ratified.
May I have a motion to adopt the claim list?
Make a motion to adopt the payment of claims, Mayor.
May I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please, Ms. Mariano.
Council President Palmer.
Aye.
Councilman Martin.
Aye.
Councilman Matthews.
Aye.
Councilman Niersted.
Yes.
Councilman Petrozelli.
Aye.
And Councilman Fisco.
Aye.
Okay, the regular meeting of mayor and council will be held on Tuesday, March 25th, 2014, in council chambers at 7:15. Workshop session to start at 7 p.m. There will be a public hearing in council chambers on ordinance number 14-04 and 14-05 on Tuesday, March 25th, 2014, at 7:15 p.m. or soon thereafter. May I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn, Mayor.
Second.
Second.
Aye. They require.
I just have to.